We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Segerbrook,
Here.
Commissioner Renzi, Commissioner Menace,
Here.
Commissioner Heinen,
Here.
Commissioner Womack, Commissioner Green, Chairman Kiefer,
Present.
Park District, School District, Fire District, Library District.
Thank you. Gentlemen, in your packets, you have the minutes were included for the December 6th, 2016 Plan Commission meeting. We've already approved those actually at our December 20th meeting. So all of you were present, I believe, on December 20th. The only action we had at that time was to continue a case. We also had a zoning board meeting, but we approved those minutes separately. So what we'll do is we're going to go forward with the agenda, but our next meeting, which is scheduled for January 17th, will include the official minutes from our December 20th meeting. We'll approve them at that time. Okay, so we'll just move forward on that. At this time, is there anybody in the audience that might have a comment they'd like to make for any item that is not on our agenda this evening? Any issue that we don't have on our agenda this evening? We have time set aside to address that, or allow you to address that. Okay, seeing none from the audience, we will move forward. Do we have a development report?
We do not have a development report this evening. John is out this week, and there was also no village board meeting since the last time we met due to the holiday.
Certainly. Thank you. Before the Plan Commission, we have no old business, so we will move directly into new business. We have two cases this evening. The first case is case number 1745-120816.SU, and it's for the applicant is European Beauty Lounge LLC, and it's a request for a special use, and this includes the public hearing. Do we have a planner's report regarding this case?
Yes, we do. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. The applicant is seeking a special use approval to operate a beauty/nail salon and body art service in Unit 102 of the commercial retail building at 12443 South Route 59. Per recent amendments to the village's zoning ordinance approved on November 7th, 2016, beauty/nail salons and body art services are now required to be approved through the special use application process. The subject property is located in a 2,100 square foot unit in a 10,500 square foot retail building on approximately 1.12 acres at the northeast corner of Route 59 and Industrial Drive. The property is Lot I-7 of the Plainfield Business Park. The property is Zone B3 and is designated in the comprehensive plan for general commercial use. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we are unfortunately not able to provide the aerial or the street view for the public viewing tonight, but the aerials are included in your packets, which are also available online as well. The adjacent land uses, zoning, and functional street classifications surrounding the property are as follows. To the north of the property is a vacant lot, Zone B3. To the east is a retention pond, Zone B3. To the south is Industrial Drive, which is a local street. And across Industrial Drive is a McDonald's restaurant and a vacant lot, which are both Zone B3. And then to the west of the property is Illinois Route 59, which is classified as a major arterial, and a Village of Plainfield pressure adjusting station, which is zoned R1, is located across Route 59. The applicant is requesting special use approval to permit a beauty/nail salon and body art service in the B3 district. The applicant's business will occupy 2,100 square feet of the 10,500 square foot multi-tenant retail building. The business called European Beauty Lounge will offer an array of services, specifically including nail services, manicures, pedicures, waxing, and microblading. Microblading is a new body art technique involving 3D eyebrow hair strokes and semi-permanent makeup. The planned hours of operation for the business are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. The business plans to start with 3 full-time employees but could hire more employees as the business grows. The applicant foresees a maximum of 10 people at their business at any given time, including 3 employees servicing 3 customers, plus up to 3 to 4 customers in the waiting area. The property includes a 62-space shared parking lot for the entire 10,500 square foot retail building, and staff believes that this will be adequate to serve this business and the 4 existing businesses. The applicant has been in the beauty business in Europe for over 10 years, owning and managing a salon for 11 years, and a beauty academy for 3 years, as well as training nail and lash technicians and working as a microblading expert. The applicant plans to provide the same services in Plainfield as they have in Europe for the past several years. In order for the Plan Commission to recommend approval of a special use, it must make 2 findings of fact as follows. A, the special use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate area, for the use is already permitted, nor substantially diminish property values within the neighborhood. Staff finds that there will be no detrimental impact to adjacent properties. The multi-tenant retail building currently includes an Italian restaurant, a specialty Indian grocer, a title lending business, and an insurance office. Staff believes the proposed use will fill a vacant unit in the building and be complementary to the existing uses on site and in the surrounding area. Staff also believes that the unique services provided by the business will likely draw customers from both inside and outside of the village, generating additional traffic that could potentially patronize surrounding Plainfield businesses. Moreover, staff finds that the applicant has demonstrated that the number of people in the business at any one time will not be significant enough to generate parking issues, and staff finds that adequate parking has already been provided in the shared lot that services the building. In addition, staff finds that the planned hours of operation and the nature of the business will be desirable and not create any disturbances that would affect surrounding businesses. Staff believes that filling the existing vacancy and allowing the proposed use could actually increase the value of the subject property and the value of surrounding properties independent of any non-related factors. The second finding of fact that needs to be made is that the establishment of the special use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the adjacent properties for uses permitted in the subject zoning district. Staff finds that the proposed use is compatible with and complementary to the existing uses on the property and with surrounding properties. Staff believes that the incorporation of this use into the existing multi-tenant retail building will fill a vacancy with the needed and desirable use and continue to contribute to a diversity of uses and the overall economic vitality of the area. Filling existing vacancies with desirable and needed retail services combined with continued commercial demand could eventually spur development of the vacant commercial lots to the north and to the south. To that end, staff believes that allowing the proposed use will not impede the development and improvement of adjacent properties, and if the business is successful, it could actually encourage the development and improvement of adjacent properties. In conclusion, staff finds that the addition of a beauty/nail salon with body art service to the subject property will not result in negative impacts to adjacent properties or uses in the area, and will complement existing uses on the property and in the general area. Staff also believes that the business will be a desirable use that could potentially draw customers from a wider area, will fill a vacancy in an existing building, will contribute to a healthy variety of commercial uses, and could potentially enhance the overall economic vitality of the area. In advance of any comments from the public hearing or input from the Plan Commission, staff recommends approval. Should the Plan Commission concur, the following motion is offered for your consideration. It's included in the staff report, and that concludes the staff report for this case.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here this evening representing the applicant? Can I get you to approach that microphone over there, please? I get you to raise your right hand, we'll swear you in. So, do you swear that all testimony you give this evening is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Could you please state your name for our recording secretary?
My name is Bojana Tutnilovic.
Do you have anything you want to add to what we've heard from the planner's report, or anything else, information you'd like us to have regarding your application?
No, I think we have all informations we need.
Okay, thank you. If you could just stay there, please, because the public might have comments or questions for you, and the commissioners might also.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. At this time, is there anybody in the audience that would like to ask a question or comment on this case? Okay, hearing none, I will open up discussion to the commissioners. Commissioners, you're free to ask questions or comment on this. And just to clarify too, in your packets, everybody has the aerial shot of what the development we're talking about, kind of on the north end of town on Route 59.
Yeah, Chair, I guess I'm more curious than anything else. And I apologize, I didn't look into this too close, but so this is B3 zoning, is that correct? That's what you mentioned?
Yes, that's correct.
It seems like we've got a lot of, I should say a lot, but there's several uses in the village of Plainfield similar to this, and I don't remember a whole lot of applications coming in front of us for this use as a special use. Why is this a special use?
That just started back in November, right?
Yeah,
Previously, it was not a special use, and then the village board indicated they wanted to have a variety of types of
Okay.
businesses would require a special use, really just for another level of review is from what I.
Remember, we kind of went through a laundry list of.
That's right.
There was
Yeah.
quite a few, and I think we made some suggestions to reduce a few of them, and they did, but that was adopted by the village
That's right.
board late
Okay.
last year.
So we'll probably see more of these cases coming up. I mean, this is typical zoning B3, right? This is
Yes,
what
yeah.
we-
So it was formerly allowed by right in the B3 zoning district, but yeah, for recent amendments that were made to the zoning ordinance in November, some text amendments, beauty and nail salons and body art services are now
Body arts.
considered special, or now require special use permit
Yeah, that's
approval.
right.
But we had, well, and I don't want to speak for the board, but there was discussion about location, proximity to other businesses, things like that. But in the past, you're right, they would not even have to have asked for a special
Yeah.
use. It would have been by right, so.
Thank you.
I guess the only question I had for the applicant, I'm sure you've kind of researched this market area and this is a new business you're opening, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, I mean, are you aware, are there any other salons like this that offer the same services or in the immediate area? Or do you think people would have to go quite a ways to find the same services you're going to have?
Yeah, we did market analysis through business plan. There's no, we will offer a unique service because the microblading is a new technique, is really unique, and I finished all school back in Europe, so it's kind of different than it's here. So it's gonna be similar but different service in our salon.
So what exactly is the microblading? I mean, I saw the report, but just for my benefit.
It's semi-permanent makeup. We do hair strokes on the eyebrows to, fill the missing parts and make the, symmetry of the face with the eyebrows.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're going to have a unique service that probably is not available nearby. So I assume you'll be able to attract clients from,
Yeah.
some distance. I mean, are people familiar with this technique? I mean, here in the U.S., or is it
Well,
something that
They
is?
starting to be.
Okay.
It's much more popular in Europe than here, but it's kind of new technique, and it will be popular here.
So it'll be
I'm
probably
sure.
be a growing market
Yeah,
for
it's
that.
growing. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a question, Andrew, not regarded to the application tonight, but the building itself and the parking lot structure, and I'm fairly familiar with this area. You can tell there's a curb cut to go into the vacant lot. I mean, I understand there's probably plan to develop that vacant lot and then allow for a pass-through.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any update on that, where that's going? Because this is one of the most awkward parking lots to get in and out of
Yeah,
kind of
it is.
efficiently. And I know the fire department just came in to the meeting back there. I always wondered how they would handle access in that building without being able to have a full drive-through.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I haven't heard anything of as far as plans to develop the lot to the north right now, but I assume it will be worked out at that time when a developer comes in to develop that.
I don't know if anybody else had noticed that. I was always.
I agree. Yeah, I go to Vita Bella there, and it's a challenge getting in and out of that parking lot.
I
because
mean, do
think-
we even know who owns that vacant lot to the north? I assume it's not the same ownership as the big center to the north.
I don't know. I would have to.
But
research
anyway,
that.
that was just something I was wondering about. Any other questions regarding this? I think it's pretty straightforward. There is a motion indicated in your packet. I would entertain a motion at this time, if there's no further discussion.
I move we adopt the findings of fact of staff as the findings of fact of the Plan Commission, and furthermore, move to recommend approval of the special use for the beauty nail salon and body art service known as European Beauty Lounge, LLC at 12443 South Route 59, Unit 102.
I'll second.
Okay, so a motion has been made and seconded to approve this. Could we get a vote by roll call, please?
Commissioner Segerbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Menace,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinen,
Yes.
Chairman Kiefer.
Yes. So this motion passes. What will happen then is our favorable recommendation will go now to the village board. So you need to keep in touch with staff after the meeting, talk to Andrew, and find out when you're going to be on the agenda for the village board, because ultimately they'll have the final say and they'll review your application as well. Okay, good luck with your business.
Okay, thank
you
you.
for coming this evening.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, the second case before us this evening is case number 1747-121216.su, and it's for 23904 West Main Street, and this is a special use request which also requires a public hearing. Do we have a planner's report regarding this?
Yes, we do. The applicant is seeking special use approval to allow multifamily residential use in the B3 Commercial Zoning District for the property at 23904 West Main Street. While the R1 overlay that includes the subject property allows for single-family residential use, multifamily use is not permitted in the B3 district and requires special use approval. The applicant is seeking the special use approval in advance of acquiring and improving the property. The subject property consists of a two-story frame house on a 5,300 square foot lot located at the northwest corner of West Main Street, also known as Illinois Route 126, and Michigan Street. The property is zoned B3 with a R1 overlay, and it is designated in the comprehensive plan as general commercial. The adjacent land uses, zoning, and functional street classifications are identified as follows. To the north is 413 Salon and Spa, which is zoned B3 with an R1 overlay. To the east is Michigan Street, which is classified as a local street. Across Michigan Street is Moravic Orthodontics, which is zoned B1 with an R1 overlay. To the south is Main Street / Illinois Route 126, which is classified as a major arterial. And across Main Street is single-family residential, which is zoned R1. And then to the west is Novak Real Estate, which is a converted house that is zoned B3 with an R1 overlay. The applicant is requesting special use approval to allow a multifamily residential use in the B3 zoning district. The applicant has signed a contract to purchase the property at 23904 West Main Street contingent on achieving the special use approval. The house on the property was previously converted into a two-unit residence with separate entrances, kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, and living areas for each of the units. The property previously had a special use permit to allow residential use, but this was canceled when the property became vacant. The applicant plans to continue the two-family residential use on the property. The applicant plans for her daughter to live in one of the units and will rent out the other unit to another tenant. Acknowledging the severely neglected nature of the property, the applicant plans to rehabilitate the exterior of the property with new roofing, siding, windows, doors, and fascia and soffits as soon as possible upon purchasing the property. While the exterior of the property will receive an improved appearance and updated color, the overall architecture of the property will remain the same. The applicant also plans to improve the property with new landscaping in the spring of 2017. While the applicant has indicated that the interior of the property is in overall good condition, they will be making some interior improvements as well, including new flooring, paint, and appliances. The property does not have a dedicated garage or driveway, but a series of parking spaces are provided off of Michigan Street adjacent to the property. The property also includes a fenced yard. In order for the Plan Commission to recommend approval of a special use, it must make two findings of fact as follows. The first finding of fact that needs to be made is that the special use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate area for the purposes already permitted, nor substantially diminish property values within the neighborhood. Staff finds that there will be no detrimental impact to adjacent properties. With the planned occupation of an improvement to the property, staff believes that this will contribute to an increased overall appearance to the surrounding area and an increase in economic activity and an increase in property values independent of any other factors. Staff finds that there is adequate parking off of Michigan Street adjacent to the property to serve this property and other nearby properties. Staff also finds that the planned two-family residential use to be a relatively low-intensity use and will not create any nuisances that would impede the use and enjoyment of surrounding properties. The second finding of fact that needs to be made is that the establishment of the special use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the adjacent properties for uses permitted in the subject zoning district. While the property is zoned B3 and several of the properties are commercial businesses or residential properties that have been converted to business use, the subject property consists of a residential structure that was most recently used for residential purposes prior to becoming vacant. Given the prior residential use and the mix of uses in the general area, including commercial and converted commercial north of Main Street and residential south of Main Street, staff believes that the planned residential use is an appropriate interim use until market dynamics cause the subject property to be converted to or redeveloped for commercial uses. In the meantime, staff believes that the planned improvements to the property and the occupation and productive use of the property for residential purposes to be a significant improvement from the neglected and vacated current state of the property. Staff believes that the investment and improvement of the subject property will enhance the surrounding area and could contribute to increased economic activity and improvement of property values, potentially sparking additional reinvestment and redevelopment in the area. Staff did receive one phone call from a resident who was concerned about the past neglected nature of the property and past property maintenance issues. In conclusion, staff finds that the reestablished two-family residential use of the property will not result in negative impacts to adjacent properties or uses in the area, particularly with the exterior improvements that are planned. Staff believes that the renewed active use of the property and the planned exterior improvements will create new activity and enhance the character and of the surrounding neighborhood, potentially encouraging additional improvements, increasing local economic activity, and increasing the value of surrounding properties. In advance of any comments from the public hearing or input from the Plan Commission, staff recommends approval. Should the Plan Commission concur, the following motion is offered for your consideration in the staff report. And that concludes the staff report for this case.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here this evening representing the applicant? Could I get you to approach the microphone over there, please? I will need to swear you in as well. Do you raise your right hand? Do you swear that all testimony you give this evening is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you please state your name for the recording secretary?
Christina Terrell.
Okay, and please, do you have anything to add or comment on your application?
I am expected to put in, or I am wanting to put in, at least $50,000 where is my expected budget on the property for improvements. Includes all new siding, windows, landscaping. The property has been neglected as far as the exterior. The interior is in overall good condition. I do plan on putting my daughter in the upstairs unit, so I will be making sure the property is well maintained. I have family that lives in Plainfield. I run a business in Plainfield, so I'm 5 minutes away from the property if there's ever need be of an emergency or any maintenance issues.
Okay, thank you. Please stay available in case the
Sure.
public or commissioners have questions for you.
Sure.
Thank you. At this time, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment on this case? Okay, hearing none. I will open up questionings to the commissioners. Keep in mind, too, that, and I think in the staff report and also in your packets, this was a special use that was granted and it expired once the building was sold, so it's basically a renewal of what was allowed for in the past. So, but please feel free to go ahead and ask questions.
So was that in the past, the R1 overlay, did it allow multifamily, Andrew, then? Or,
I believe that this property did have a specific special use for
We
for
have, like,
multifamily. Yeah, because the R1 overlay, I don't believe allows for anything other than single family, so this would be two family.
okay, so, and then it had the variance.
We have, I think, a number of properties down there that were kind of grandfathered in as it was kind of rezoned over time, so. But I think that was one of the things we've always maintained was if the building was sold, the special use doesn't automatically go with it.
Okay, thank you.
If I'm not mistaken, I think at one time this might have been a daycare center in this house.
I believe it was. The previous owner
Yeah.
did have it always as a 2-unit, but at some point she ran a home daycare on the
Right,
first
and
floor.
I think that's maybe
Yes.
why the fence, the yard was fenced like that. They
Yes,
tried to have some
yes.
kind of a little playground. To be honest, I always thought it was not a good location for a daycare, just due to the traffic and, being close to the street and everything.
Right.
I think your use, makes a lot more sense. I mean, I
Yes,
think for
yes.
what's there,
Exactly. And its
I mean-
current condition, it's not set up for
Right.
commercial of any kind.
Right. I mean, I think realistically, there'd probably be a lot more, to
Right.
get it to a commercial use. But just the fact that you're going to maintain the property and improve it, I think it's a good use, and I think that use is not going to generate a lot of traffic or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good interim use, I guess, as the report says. So.
Hey, Andrew, are you familiar with the, vision for division?
I've looked at it.
Is this property, is that included in vision for division? Do you know?
I'm not sure if it is.
Do you guys know? I'm just wondering.
I mean,
because-
I thought it was just strictly properties that were on division. It may have bled into this area, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know the Walgreens property was part of that
Mhm.
vision, which, the Walgreens didn't really replicate what the vision was. The only reason why I ask is because, this is, this is a pretty high profile corner. I agree that this is a good interim use. I'd love to see this area be redeveloped into something a little bit more higher and better use, so to speak. Because we got the 7-Eleven, we got a couple of those miscellaneous, either residential or commercial spaces. And with the high, profile along Route 59 with the traffic, getting a higher, better use there would be, favorable. I know we're doing TIF districts along Route 30, near 55. Has this ever been considered to be TIF district? So we can.
I'm not sure if it
Actually
was
redevelop.
in the past if it was considered. I'm pretty sure that it is not.
Yeah, I think there's a bigger vision for this property than having it be a multifamily, residential use. I understand this is the character of the historical aspect of it, but, I don't oppose this, but I think, I'd like to get a better understanding of what is the ultimate plan for this development.
I think, my recollection in the past, there's always kind of been this big question mark because, in some of the transportation plans, the idea was to get this de-designated as Route 126, to
Yeah.
reroute 126 north of town,
Right,
obviously get over to 55.
right.
And then I think the thought was the street could actually return more towards a residential versus this kind of quasi-commercial it is now or has been.
Yeah,
And a lot of it's just because of the traffic volume,
right.
So, I can tell you back when this was a daycare center, I don't know, maybe at some point you'll be taking your kids across the street to the orthodontist.
Yeah.
Both of my kids went right across the street, they were at the orthodontist, and sometimes the traffic there can be really
I'm
tough,
thinking bigger, I'm thinking
I
the
know,
7-Eleven,
I
the Nabbies, all
Right, I
that,
know
that
that.
whole
I
area
know.
being redeveloped.
But I think because of the whole 126 thing, everybody's always, it's kind of like a guillotine hanging over your head because you don't know, if that could actually change and not be a designated state route.
Right,
A lot of things could change, but nobody knows if it's ever going to happen, so.
yeah, okay.
I do believe the ultimate goal is to redevelop that whole area.
Right.
But it takes time, and you got to have the right people involved and the right economic situation to allow that to occur. So.
Well,
I think this is just sometimes you have to, in order to get the ball rolling, you have to make improvements to existing properties in the area, such as what is being
I think
proposed.
Commissioner Heinen's referencing too that there was I think a lot of planning that went into that, and a lot of discussion and meetings and the whole vision on division, and
Yeah, and I
just kind of
agree.
wonder where it was going.
I agree. There's maybe an economic play on this in the future, but, being proactive and trying to redevelop this, I challenge, the board, and the mayor of maybe looking at this area as a potential TIF district so that it can, revitalize or essentially push, maybe, developers being interested in this parcel.
May I say something?
Yeah, certainly.
I would not be opposed if at any point a commercial developer came in and said, would you be willing to sell the property as part of, if the other two surrounding properties wanted to sell, I would not be opposed to selling to, you know, to do something like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Appreciate that
Awesome.
feedback. Thank you.
I mean, realistically, this lot is so small that you'd have to assemble some other parcels.
Oh, definitely.
To
yeah.
really do something commercially, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, so, in the future, a lot of things could happen, you know, I don't think we're really sure which
Yep.
way.
Well, and you never know, by improving this property and making it look a little nicer, it draws a little attention to
Yeah.
the area, and it might
Right.
spur a little of that activity you're speaking about.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion regarding this application.
I move we adopt the findings of fact of staff as the findings of fact of the Plan Commission, and furthermore, move to recommend approval of the special use for two-family residential at 23904 West Main Street.
Second.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded. Can we please have a vote by roll call?
Commissioner Heinen,
Yes.
Commissioner Segebrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Menace,
Yes.
Chairman Kiefer.
Yes. So our recommendation is favorable. It'll move forward to the village board. Please keep in touch with staff from when you'll be appearing before the village board, and they'll give you their feedback and decision at that time, hopefully.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
for
Thank
coming
you.
this
Good
evening.
luck.
Okay, that concludes new business. Do we have anything under open discussion that any of the commissioners would like to bring up?
Just one thing, I wanted to thank Mayor Lee and I guess the rest of the village staff for implementing the agendas, meeting minutes, and staff reports on the village website. I was excited for that. It makes it a lot easier reaching out to the community by just forwarding your email, you know, and the link associated with that, so that way we can get more feedback from our residents. So I forwarded, actually, I belong to St. Mary's Men's Club, and I forwarded to the Men's Club and had a dozen people that were extremely excited about the fact that they feel like they're more in touch with what's going on with the village. So that was great. Congratulations.
And also, now our meetings are available almost instantly on YouTube, so I don't know if you've looked at that yet, so.
It's exciting,
Commissioners may want to think about what you're wearing and
the high ratings we're going to get.
haircuts and whatnot, I don't know, yeah. But it is a nice way to outreach, and I think it's good that we can reach a lot of the community through that, so.
Marilyn, I'm sure you did that all by yourself, right?
Appreciate that, thank you. Thank you. Anything else under open discussion?
No, well, I guess it really goes back to old business, but we still don't know about the continuation of that other case,
It
when
hasn't
it's
been
gonna come
scheduled
back.
yet?
Yeah, they're now targeting for the next Plan Commission meeting on
Oh,
January
okay.
16th, I believe. Yeah.
Referring to the case
So,
regarding
yeah,
the
the-
access point on 127.
Yeah, with the holidays and everything, some of their architects, landscape architects, things like that were out, so they needed some more time on that. So I think they hope to get me the plans for review hopefully by the end of the week, so we can continue it to then.
Very good. I will have a few reminders here. January 9th is the next village board meeting at 7 p.m. And then January 17th will be the next Plan Commission meeting, again at 7 o'clock. Anybody who's watching at home, please check the website if there's any changes or updates. It would be posted there, but that's our next scheduled meeting. I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Welcome to 2017. And at 7:34, we will adjourn the Plan Commission.